Hi everyone, I'm Linda Reimer, one of the librarians at the Southeast Steuben County Library. Welcome to Library Connections, our weekly readers, viewers, and listeners advisory videocast. Enjoy. Library Connections 101. This is the Friday, June 10th, 2022 edition of Library Connections. Jumping right in as usual with the top 5 fiction bestsellers for this week from the New York Times. At number 1, Sparring Partners by John Grisham. 3 novellas, Homecoming, Strawberry Moon, and the title story, Sparring Partners. At number 2, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. A battered wife, raised in a violent home, attempts to halt the cycle of abuse. At number 3, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town on the North Carolina coast in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. At number 3, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. While on vacation in North Carolina, a literary agent keeps running into an editor. And at number 5, Verity by Colleen Hoover. Loan Ashley is hired by the husband of an injured writer to complete her popular series, and she uncovers a horrifying truth. Moving on to the top 5 nonfiction bestsellers for the week. At number 1, Happy Go Lucky by David Sedaris. The humorist portrays personal and public upheavals of his life in its 7th decade and the world in the time of a pandemic. At number 2, Killing the Killers by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. The 11th book in the conservative commentator's Killing series gives an account of the global war against terrorists. At number 3, Finding Me by Viola Davis. The multiple award-winning actress describes the difficulties she encountered before claiming her sense of self and achieving professional success. At number 4, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. How trauma affects the body and mind, and innovative treatments for recovery. And at number 5, Here's the Deal by Kelly Ann Conway. The former senior counselor in President Trump's White House gives her account of her time in politics. Our first recommended read for this week is the new novel, The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. A dignified witch is caught in a whirlwind adventure with a knavish pirate in Victorian London, in Holton's cheeky sequel to The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. As the descendant of Wiccan League founder Beryl Black, Charlotte Peffer is destined to be the next leader of the Great Society of Powerful Witches. Though witches and pirates are sworn enemies, roguishly charming Captain Alex O'Reilly threatens Charlotte's composure from their first meeting. Charlotte is eager to forget their undeniable connection, but that task grows more complicated when Beryl's stolen amulet resurfaces, and, in an attempt to recover her ancestor's artifact, Charlotte stows away on Alex's flying house to give chase to the thief. In close quarters, neither Charlotte nor Alex can deny their chemistry. But with the Wiccan League and the Wisteria Society, plus leaders of London's pirate community, eager to stop their budding romance, Charlotte must decide between her birthright and the thrilling life she could have with Alex. The whimsical world building forms a perfect backdrop to the angsty couple, and Holton's winking narration, which puts her in cahoots with the reader, makes her exaggerated characters work, overflowing with heart, humor, and hyperbole. This clever romance enchants. And that's the Publisher's Weekly Review. Our second recommended read for this week is the new Nora Roberts novel, Nightwork. Harry Booth learned very early in life that he couldn't afford to play by the rules. To help his mother pay a never-ending avalanche of medical bills, Harry began picking pockets, gradually promoting himself to night work, relieving wealthy households of a valuable bauble or two. After his mother's death, Harry begins roaming around the U.S., changing his name to fit each geographic location. While indulging in his surprising penchant for higher learning, Harry meets a professor's daughter, Miranda Emerson, and begins seriously thinking of leaving his old life behind. But a sociopathic former client has a different plan in mind for Harry. Ever popular Roberts' latest protagonist may reinvent himself to blend in with his latest locale, but the queen of romance remains true to the traits that consistently work for her, using her immersive storytelling capabilities to create captivating characters and ensnare readers in a carefully crafted plot that splendidly showcases her signature brand of spine-chilling suspense and stylish romance. High-demand backstory. While there are few sure things in life, readers can bet Roberts' latest standalone will land at the top of bestseller lists everywhere. And as I'm recording this today, I checked the New York Times bestseller list, and of course, Nora Roberts' new book is number 1. So the book list reviewer there was quite correct. Moving on to our first audiobook recommendation for this week, it's the new Mary Kay Andrews novel, The Homewreckers. And if you look very closely there, in very small print, it says love, murder, and faulty wiring. That's terrific, but I'm digressing. The audiobook is read by Kathleen McInnery. Young widow Hattie Kavanaugh just lost her shirt on her last attempted renovation of a historic house in Savannah. So she's desperate enough to accept Mo Lopez's offer to star in her own show on the Home Place television network. Though the network lets her best friend Cass stay on as foreman, they bring on hotshot designer Trey Bartholomew to spice things up in the house, and maybe with Hattie too. Unfortunately, the beach house they are renovating on Tybee Island is a total disaster, and the network's timeline is tighter than the budget. And then, because you knew there was going to be a then, and then Cass finds a wallet hidden in a wall, one that belonged to their favorite English teacher who went missing their senior year. That, plus an overzealous inspector and a mysterious dumpster fire, makes it seem like this renovation is doomed too. Andrews' latest is a frothy combination of a hectic old house renovation story and a cozy mystery, with a hint of romance centered around a likable heroine who has been holding too many feelings at bay. A perfect summer escape. High-demand backstory, Andrews' perennial summer bestseller status, plus the hot home renovation theme, means lots of demand. And that's the booklist review of another perfect summer read. It's that time of year we want frothy summer reads, with a few nonfiction titles to add spice. But again, I'm digressing. Our second audiobook recommendation for this week is the new John Grisham novella collection, Sparring Partners. The audiobook is read by Jeff Daniels, Ethan Hawke, January Lavoie, and the author himself. #1 New York Times bestselling author John Grisham is the acknowledged master of the legal thriller. In his first collection of novellas, law is a common thread, but America's favorite storyteller has several surprises in store. In the first story, Homecoming, readers return to Ford County, the fictional setting of many of John Grisham's unforgettable stories. Jake Brigance is back, but he's not in the courtroom. He's called upon to help an old friend, Max Stafford, a former lawyer in Clanton, who 3 years earlier became a local legend when he stole money from his clients, divorced his wife, filed for bankruptcy, and left his family in the middle of the night, never to be heard from again, until now. Now Mac is back, and he's leaning on his old pals Jake and Harry Rex to help him return. And his homecoming does not go as planned. In the second story, Strawberry Moon, we meet Cody Wallace, a young death row inmate only 3 hours away from execution. His lawyers can't save him, the court slams the door, and the governor says no to a last-minute request for clemency. As the clock winds down, Cody has one final request. And in the third and title story, Sparring Partners, the partners in question are the Malloy brothers, Kirk and Rusty, two successful young lawyers who inherited a once prosperous firm when its founder, their father, was sent to prison. Unfortunately, Kirk and Rusty loathe each other and speak to each other only when necessary. As the firm disintegrates, the resulting fiasco falls into the lap of Diantha Bradshaw, the only person the partners trust. Can she save the Malloys? Or does she take a stand for the first time in her career and try to save herself? We'll have to read the novella collection Sparring Partners to find out. Or in this case, listen to it. Either way, it should be fun. It sounds like a solid summer read, which is what we're focusing on this week. Moving on to our first streaming recommendation for this week, I'm going to recommend the 1944 classic Gaslight, directed by George Cukor and starring Charles Boyer, Ingrid Bergman, and Joseph Cotten, in introducing a young and then unknown actress named Angela Lansbury. You could stream this one from a variety of platforms: Google, Amazon, iTunes, etc. Briefly, the film focuses on a newlywed who is slowly driven to the brink of madness by her deceptively charming husband at their Victorian mansion in London. Ingrid Bergman won a Best Actress Oscar as the wife, while Charles Boyer received a Best Actor nod as her spouse, and Angela Lansbury, in her film debut at age 18, was nominated for a Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as a sassy Cockney servant. And that's the TV Guide overview of the plot. And on a complimentary note, I was inspired to recommend Gaslight by recently listening to the May 27th, 2022 Fresh Air podcast, which replayed an interview Terry Gross did with Angela Lansbury in 2000. Lansbury is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2022 Tonys this month, thus the replay of their interview, which is found online, and I do have a web address there, but it's probably easier just to Google Angela Lansbury and Fresh Air to bring up the podcast, but it is neat. It's very cool to listen to Lansbury talk about her life and career. Very insightful. Moving on to our second recommended stream of the week, it's Season 6 of the series Peaky Blinders, which has just come out. This series was, of course, created by Stephen Knight. It stars Cillian Murphy, Paul Anderson, Sophie Rundell, and an ensemble cast. You could stream this one, of course, from Netflix, as it's a Netflix original. You're probably familiar with this gangster drama, set in the early 1900s in Birmingham, England. The gang in Peaky Blinders is loosely based on a real gang that was active in Britain during the late 1890s and early 1900s. And as much as the series has been loved by audiences, it was announced that the 6th season, which just came out June 10th, will be the last one in this series. The series stars an ensemble cast of big names, such as Cillian Murphy in the lead role, Helen McCrory, Tom Hardy, Anya Taylor-Joy, Sam Claflin, and many more. We can't wait to see Tommy Shelby surviving yet another conspiracy set against him. And that's the movie web overview of Season 6 of Peaky Blinders. And our third streaming recommendation for this week is one of Netflix's international titles. It's the 2021 miniseries The Perfect Mother, which was filmed in France. It stars Julie Gayet, Tomer Sicily, and Eden Ducourt. You could stream this one from Netflix. Let me tell you a bit about the plot. Set in Berlin, The Perfect Mother is a crime thriller focused on a mother, Helene Berg, whose daughter becomes accused of murder. As a devoted mother, who doesn't believe her daughter would be capable of such an act, she decides to discover the real truth behind the murder case. The miniseries is actually based on a novel of the same name by Nina Darton. Per Adweek, Netflix is committed to bringing more global projects onto its platform, with The Perfect Mother being an international co-production as well. Lovers of crime mysteries, get ready. And that's the movie web overview of the plot. I have to say I have really enjoyed a number of the international productions that Netflix has, including, of course, the outstanding TV series Dark. That is really something if you haven't seen it. You do have to like science fiction a little bit, but if you like science fiction and you haven't seen the seasons of Dark, there's 3 of them, that was really, really outstanding. But I'm digressing. Moving right along. Our Hoopla recommendation for this week is a movie. It's the 1986 comedy Something Wild, starring Melanie Griffith, Jeff Daniels, and Ray Liotta. And I have to say that we're used to seeing Melanie Griffith, most of us, with blonde hair, but there she is with dark hair, and yes, that's really her. And in this movie, Melanie Griffith plays a free-spirited woman who kidnaps a yuppie, played by Jeff Daniels, for a weekend of adventure. But the fun quickly takes a dangerous turn when her ex-convict husband shows up, and the ex-convict husband is played by the great Ray Liotta. So Something Wild, available through Hoopla now. Moving on to our next section, next week at the library. A brief overview of the programs being held at or through the library for the week ahead of us. That's the week of June 13th through the 18th, 2022. This information can also be found online. Simply go to the library's homepage, found at ssclibrary.org, and click on the bold calendar link you'll find on our homepage. And just a beginning note, registration is required for programs unless otherwise specified, or unless a program is something available to stream, like programs on Facebook or YouTube. You can register for programs through the library's website, by calling the library, or just dropping by. And I didn't really make this clear, and it's kind of obvious, but if you could stream a program, it's free for everyone to stream and watch at any time. So on Monday, June 13th, there are no library programs, but the Friends of the Library Summer Book Sale continues. For this week, the week of the 13th through the 18th, book sale hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturday, June 18th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Tuesday, June 14th, we have several programs to bring to your attention, starting out with Adult Scrabble, which runs from 9 to 11 a.m. That program is held in the library's reading room. Then from 10 to 10:30 a.m., we have Miss Sue's Tuesday Story Time. This is now a hybrid program which is held both through Facebook and at Fallbrook Park if you'd like to come in person. From 10:30 to 11 a.m. we have the Adult Learners of English program, Coffee, Tea, and English Online Conversation. This is a Zoom program, so you have to register for the program to get the Zoom link. And then from 7 to 8:15 p.m. we have the second poetry writing workshop with Akua Leslie Hope. This is a Zoom program, and you did have to register for the first program to get the Zoom link. So if you register for the first program, you should get an email with the Zoom link. On Wednesday, June 15th, we have two programs in Library Land. From 1 to 3 p.m., Mahjong, which is being held at the library. And then from 6 to 8 p.m., we have the Corning Adult Writers Group. This is a hybrid program being held both at the library and via Zoom. To register for both programs, you contact Michelle Wells at the library. On Thursday, June 16th, we have one program at the library. It's the Young Adult program Teen Creative Writing, which runs from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. This program is being held at the library. The program is hosted by actor, writer, and educator Tim Collins, and this creative writing class is suitable for those ages 13 to 17. All levels of experience will be welcomed in this safe space. Come to one class or all of them. And you have to register, but yes, there's more than one class. On Friday, June 17th, we have 4 items to bring to your attention. The first is the debut of the monthly recipe with Michelle Wells, which you can access all day and ever after on Michelle's writer's blog, found at melorajohnson.wordpress.com. The second program is Science Time with Miss Abby, which runs from 10 to 10:30 a.m. on Facebook. The third item is the debut of the weekly Library Connections video, which will make its debut on Facebook and YouTube, and will be accessible also through the Tech Talk blog next Tuesday, always the Tuesday after the debut of the episode on Facebook and YouTube. And then from 7 to 8 p.m. we have Juneteenth poetry reading with Akua Leslie Hope. This is a Zoom program. Let me tell you a little about it. Akua Leslie Hope learned about Juneteenth through other Black employees of Corning Incorporated who hailed from other parts of the USA where it was celebrated. She joined the effort to create Juneteenth commemorations in Corning, New York, beginning in 1993, performing her poetry in Centerway Square. This reading of her original work on the themes of civil rights and freedom is a continuation of those observations, and that program is from 7 to 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, June 18th, the book sale continues. The hours are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 18th, And for the next week, that's the week running Monday, June 20th to Friday, June 24th, book sale hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And briefly, here are our library programs contacts. Should you have any questions about any programs, please feel free to let us know. Have questions about this weekly videocast? Let me know. You can send me an email. My email address is reimerl@stls.org. That's reimerl@stls.org. Or you can always drop by the library. Library hours, an important thing to know. The library is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we're closed on Sundays. The library's website is found at ssclibrary.org. You can find a whole host of useful information on our website. To offer you a Cliff Notes version today, I'm just going to talk about 3 sections of our homepage that will allow you to access cool stuff. The first is the link that says Calendar on our homepage. If you click that or tap it, you'll be redirected to our calendar of events, where you can register for programs and see what's going on both in the library and also the remote programming we have. If you click on the word Catalogs, a menu will open that will allow you to access all the library's catalogs for both physical content like print books and digital content like eBooks. And then if you click on the Resources menu link, seen at the top of the page there, also bordered in red, a menu will open. And you can do a bunch of stuff through that menu. You can register to vote. You can access anti-racism resources. But today I want to direct you to the Research and Learning page on our website. So that's the third option on the Resources menu, Research and Learning. And if you click or tap that, the Research and Learning page will display. And this lists some of the most popular databases that we offer, otherwise known as online research resources, but I find that a mouthful. So basically these are credible research resources, which I'm going to refer to as databases from now on. And these are available to you as a card holder, but they're not free to everyone everywhere. You get them as a card holder, but the library and/or the library system pays for these. And through our website, through the Research and Learning page on our website, you find some of the most popular ones you can access, including Mango Languages, if you want to learn another language, even pirate, and the Heritage Quest resource or database, and that's for genealogical research. And those are great resources. And if you're going to do really in-depth research, though, you want to go all the way down to the bottom of the page. In the last little paragraph there, it says, would you like to find more databases and resources? And then below that little paragraph in purple, it says, find the complete list of STLS databases here. That's the link you want to click on if you're doing in-depth research. It's going to redirect you to the databases page on the STLS website. And you see a photo of the top portion of that page on the right side of your screen. So here we see a large portion of the list of databases that you can access for in-depth research on tons of topics: criminal justice, the culinary arts, diversity, gender studies. There's a health database. If you want to do health research, there's one on opposing viewpoints. If you have to write a paper on a subject that has 2 sides to the story, which is usually the case, you can look at that. There are several academic resources if you're a college or high school student doing research. There's even one on gardening and landscaping, on the hospitality industry, and a home improvement collection too. So lots of stuff on the STLS databases page, which you can access through our website, or you can go directly to that page by typing www.stls.org/databases into your web browser. StarCat and the BookMine app. StarCat is the catalog of physical library materials available to all card holders of the public libraries in the Southern Tier Library System, otherwise known as STLS. STLS encompasses the public libraries in Steuben, Chemung, Yates, Schuyler, and Allegheny counties. You can access StarCat online at starcat.stls.org. That's starcat.stls.org. Or, as you might imagine, there's an app for that. It's called Bookmine, and it's spelled a little differently. It's Bookmyne, and that will give you direct access to StarCat through your mobile device, and you can find the Bookmine app in your app store. The digital catalog and its companion app Libby. The digital catalog too is available to all cardholders of all Southern Tier Library System member libraries, and you can find it online at stls.overdrive.com, or you can download the Libby app found in your app store to your mobile device. The digital catalog features eBooks, audiobooks, and a handful of streaming videos. Hoopla. The Hoopla catalog features eBooks, comic books, full-length albums, downloadable audiobooks, and streaming videos, including both TV shows and movies. All Hoopla items are available for instant checkout for Southeast Bend County Library cardholders with a maximum of 6 checkouts per month. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking and watching this and you're thinking, well, why is it just for Corning Library cardholders or SSC Library cardholders? That's because this particular service, Hoopla, is one that the Southeast Bend County Library pays for. The others, the digital catalog and of course StarCat, are collection-wide catalogs, and all member libraries contribute to them. So that's what the difference is. If you want to check out the Hoopla catalog online, you go to hoopladigital.com, and of course there's an app, Hoopla, for your mobile device. Social media. If you have questions about the library, you are welcome, of course, to go the traditional route and give us a call. But if you'd like to take the modern route and contact us via social media, you can do that too. The library has presences on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Library blogs. The library has 5 blogs we'd like to bring your attention to. I'm going to list them in alphabetical order. The first one is the Book Club for Adults blog, which is found at ssclbook.club, and it features, you guessed it, 2 posts per month that relate to the monthly book club for adults as compared to young adults or kids. And the second post for each month includes readers' advisory recommendations that were discussed during the meeting of the month and a general overview of the plot of the book that we read for the month. Moving along alphabetically, our second blog is the Corning NY History blog. That's our local history blog found online at corningnyhistory.com. It features weekly postings on Fridays that include photos from the library's local history archive and old newspaper articles of the week. Then we have Creation Stationery, the Makerspace blog found at creationstationery.com. There are occasional creative postings relating to the library's Makerspace and Makerspace programs. Our third blog is Story Musings, a blog hosted by the library's resident author and head of adult services, Michelle Wells. There are regular postings offering book reviews, recipes, and more. You can find Story Musings at storymusing.blogspot.com. You can also access all the blogs through the library's website. Our fourth blog is one that yours truly hosts. It's the Tech and Book Talk blog, a readers, viewers, and listeners advisory blog found at sscltech.com. I do occasionally include helpful tech tips because I like technology, and of course we like technology in library land, but I'm digressing. Weekly postings for this blog include suggested reading, suggested listening, New York Times bestsellers, and a post of Library Connections videos the Tuesday after they first appear on Facebook and YouTube. And our fifth blog is called Teen Tones. It's the library's blog for young adults and has great information about upcoming programs and other items of interest found at teentones.com. And briefly, our references of the week and our catalog information. And that's the program for this week. I'll be back next week with a new edition of Library Connections. Have a great week.